Let's see if this is working this time. Alright, I'm going to turn on the flashlight. So apparently... There it is. Chlorhexidine, gluconate oral rinse. This is something I got when I had a tooth removed. So it's something I've had. I'm going to attempt to put it in that spray bottle and use that as a way to keep his mouth sanitary. That's one plan. His mouth, this is Shane we're talking about. Today I managed to get my landlord's help feeding him and watering him, and after feeding him I saw the first glance in his eyes of hope returning for him, which helped return some hope to me since the post-operation. I'm, of course, very grateful he didn't die on the operating table. He has had most of his lower jaw removed, like way more of it than I thought was going to be removed. But I pureed some of this right here. Pureed that for him, thanks to my brother's donation of $50 extra on top of the $350 he paid on the vet bill. I was able to buy that magic bullet at Walmart, which I have successfully put to use, making Shane some food. And my landlord brought me one of these. He bought 4 of these like 2 years ago during a summer clearance sale at Home Depot, and it's a water gun basically. And we managed to give him water like a drinking fountain, so he was drinking like as he wanted to at his pace while we were using this. And then I just smeared that puree of that food onto his upper palate, and he licked it off his upper palate with his tongue, which still functions. So here's Shane. Somebody was asking how I allowed him to exist in such pain for so long, to let it get to whatever state they saw in the latest video. I didn't let anything happen. I assure everyone, I was the one asking for this to be removed back in the spring of 2024. Because Horse Heaven Hills claimed that they did not have the ability to remove, even at that point, it would have been like an inch of his jaw. They would have taken his big canine tooth on his left of his mouth, and maybe the 2 teeth next to it, and all of the jawbone from under that tooth. That's what would have been removed, spring of 2024. They did not do that. They removed the soft tissue of the tumorous growth from his gum line under that canine, and because they didn't remove it all, it came back aggressively, and over a 4-month period, it started, rather than growing outward, it grew inward. It destroyed his jaw. Now, during that destruction, I was begging every vet I could for help. Eventually, I chose WSU, went to them, and my goal was to have the flesh excised. No, Shane, no, you're not going to do that. The goal was to excise flesh at that time, and had they done it then, that would have been 6 months ago now. Had they done it when I asked for it, he would have lost 2 inches from the chin back. And because they refused to help Shane and instead talked me into radiation therapy, he got 3 radiation treatments over a month's period, like April 8th, April 16th, or 14th or something like that, and then April 29th. He got his radiation treatments. You are not going to do that. And it cannot... This is what we're looking at. It's got a little bit of that pureed food still stuck to his tongue. No, you're not going to do that. Still holding his foot. Will you please stop? No, you need to get out of that mode, whatever that mode is. Nope, shut it off. Shut it off. Shut it off. Shut that part of your brain off, please. Anyway. This is Shane. This is Shane like 24 hours after having his jaw removed. There is hope. Right now, I'm hand feeding him, but that's just because he's under the weather in general. He's recovering from immense pain, immense infection, immense just necrotic flesh that was causing him all sorts of misery. That's gone, but he's recovering from the operation itself now. So he's no longer fighting a massive infection. That was all cut out. Now he's just healing. So I still need help. I've got a Waggle Fund operational. I finally have a second donor. Oh, there's my cousin.